listeners a very, very, very happy and a cheerful 2021. Okay, let's begin our very first episode of this new year 2021 with something very interesting, a very interesting subject which is absolutely important in the sporting world. Yes, I'm talking about sports medicine. Let's begin. Warm welcome to Breaking Barriers. Well, this is a podcast where we discuss sports and different stuff relating to sports. So, a very happy new year to you, Dr. Bhattacharya, and tell us what does this new year means to you when it comes to sport?
Good afternoon and a very happy new year. Well, this, as you know, this 2020 was a very, it's a problematic, it's a COVID-19 year, rather, you can say, and we were all confined and no games, no sports. But let's hope this 2021 would be very fine and, it will be very active for all of us and looking forward to do good for the sports persons. So, we all together, we can make them feel better performer in the coming, 2021.
Right. Let's be very, very positive, and that's a wonderful message given by you. So, you have been associated with sports medicine for quite some time now. So, tell us, what does exactly sports medicine at this point in time means to all of us?
Well, this sports medicine, if you go for by the definition, it's a medicine and science of health, fitness, and sports. So, it is a subject which helps in improving the sports performance in all the areas, by looking into this, by helping in talent search, and then, pre-season, pre-competition, post-competition, medical checkup, and with, giving informations, regarding nutrition, regarding recovery, regarding anti-doping, clean sport. These are the areas which the sports medicine looks after, and by doing work with the other support staff, like trainers, like coaches, then psychologists, nutritionists, biochemists, physiologists, all together, working together, they can help in improving the sports performance scientifically. So this is the sports medicine, this is the sphere in which it works and improves the sports performance.
Right. And in today's world where there's so much of competition and it's very, very competitive, sports has become very, very power game now. We see a lot of women athletes and, all the young players, they're so much into power games. So why do you think sports medicine is an integral part of today's competitive sports? Or why do you think it is necessary?
Absolutely. Sports medicine is absolutely necessary to improve the performance of a sports person, and it takes the care of the health of an athlete. In the macro level and in micro level. In the macro level, it helps in improving the physical fitness. The sports medicine doctors, they are experts. They look after the health, general health, as well as the exercising health. The changes and adaptations that happens in the body and the threshold limit. These things can be well judged by the sports medicine specialist, so that the athlete never gets fatigued and never overloaded, and he doesn't have to lose time by being fatigued or unfit. So this way, the sports medicine doctors can help at the macro level by improving all the motor abilities and endurance, speed, strength, flexibility, agility, skill. So these are all motor abilities can be improved with measured exercise and measured means. Which we can point out, and the athlete can have a longer sporting life, and they can have more time and they can excel. That is at the macro level. And in the micro level, we can analyze, we can see the what are the the muscle, what are the needs for the muscles, the organs, and then other things like micronutrients, like by analyzing the biochemistry of the athlete. So all these things can be analyzed in the laboratory, and the micro things, I mean, and it can be supplemented, improved if there is some deficiency, and which indirectly or directly will help the sports performance. So this is very useful and integral part of it.
So you mean to say this is one of the most important and integral part of any athlete's life now, if he or she wants to excel in international platform. But from a layman's point of view, how would you convince a parent who doesn't even have an idea of what sports medicine is all about? Why do you need sports medicine? What's the point of having a sports medicine specialist? Because we already have a coach who's a world-class coach, or maybe he or she is coaching in a very fantastic environment with some great infrastructure. So how do you convince a layman?
So that, in very short, I can tell it that the doctors are the experts of health of human beings, and they know the pros and cons of what is happening, what are the types of metabolism that is going on, and how the injuries can be prevented. So these are the things that doctors can point out perfectly than any others in the associated. So this is I would like to tell the parents that unless you are scientific, you sometimes may get overloaded. The athlete, his son or daughter who are athlete, they can get overloaded, and which may be ignored by the other support staff, not because that they are not expert in their own field. They know their field very well, but still they may miss the things which the doctors would not. So this is one side, and so that the breakdown won't happen if the doctors are with the sports person. And another thing I would like to suggest to the parents that they should know one thing, that a good sports person is one who is good at sport, is good at studies, and good at studies, good at sport. So this is vice versa, and this is another way of convincing parents that more and more students, their sons and daughters should join sports to become active, agile, and sharp in both sports as well as in studies. Yeah, in academics. So they should send their sons and daughters for this purpose, sports, so that they can excel in any sphere of life. And besides, I assure them that they will be well nurtured in a sports campus under sports medicine doctors, because we look after their nutrition, we look after their recovery, and we examine them, for what sport they are fit, and how their body would react to that particular load. So this can be measured, and in a safe state, they can achieve their goal.
Right. When you talk about recovery, the other day I was having a word with an international shuttler, a female shuttler, and she is retired now. But when we were having a very casual conversation, she said, Prasna, at one point in time, when we went out for training right in the morning, early morning, before school hours, we went empty stomach. We didn't knew about that, at least you should have some amount of protein or some amount of a protein shake, which would actually help in build up our muscles before any kind of training in the morning. But we never knew about this because there was not much said and told or discussed about sports nutrition or sports medicine or sports science, because that was the time, I'm talking about 80s and 90s, when all these terminologies were just confined to books, just confined to academics. So now that these particular terms have come into the forefront. It's kind of very, very essential to have a nutritionist, to have a proper